All right. Good, good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when this is being listened to. My name is Nick Rontonini, and this is the first episode of Worrisome Wednesdays. It's going to be a bi-weekly podcast hosted by myself and a friend of mine, Miss Cassie Maurice. Cassie, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
I'm doing quite well too. Um, I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. All right. So this podcast is going to be hosted by myself as well as Cassie. I myself am a content creator. I do a lot of video editing, social media marketing, as well as SEO optimization. And Cassie, I believe, is also, she does a lot of SEO. She does a lot of design. She edits. She does writing. She does video. She's essentially a jack of all trades.
Yes,
So, all right. Yeah. So how you doing today, Cassie?
I'm doing quite well. Been really busy here lately, for
Mm.
mental reasons. So with a lot of family issues, but we're getting through it. So I'm going one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I get that. I was doing a lot of like June especially has was a lot of family events. We were celebrating my grandmother's birthday a couple weeks ago. So we had this barbecue at my house. And I mean it's good because we got this extension on my house. We kind of redid the kitchen and we added
hmm
uh kind of like a back room, kind of where my dining room or not my backyard used to be.
Right.
So we added that. So it was good because we had a lot of space. So like we were doing the whole week beforehand was just like us trying to to prepare and make sure we had everything. We had to get the burgers, the hot dogs, the buns, and the chips
Right.
and all that.
So it turned out good though.
I did, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Everyone had a good time. I think my grandmother had a good time, which is nice.
Yeah, that's who it was for. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we had a like my thing, and like uh we had like all these we had to set up these chairs. I mean, we have like dozens of folding chairs in my basement. We have dozens of these. So we were trying to set those up, and we had this table from my grandparents' house on my dad's side. We had this big table from their house that
My-
we kind of brought home. We were able to kind of bring that in.
Sorry, my cat decided to jump up here.
He's like, I want to be on. I want to be on.
Right? He's like, I'm gonna photobomb her. Well, I'm glad that actually went really good. I
Yeah.
know, like I said, I had the grandson for a little bit a couple days ago, and
Well,
it
that's nice.
it was unexpected. I wasn't supposed to have him at all, and they ended up coming over, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to watch him?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he's not a year yet. He'll be a year in September, and he has a mouthful of teeth. This child had baby teeth coming in the like second month he was born. He I've never seen a child get so many teeth in the first year. Which his my stepson's brother had a son too, just a month later, and he doesn't have that many teeth. So it's like really kind of crazy to compare them to, especially since they're only a month apart. I told them they did that on purpose to drive us grandmas crazy, to have two kids at the same time, the terrible twos, everything
Uh,
at the same time. It's gonna be fun. I mean, the good thing is I get to give them back.
oh man. Yeah, I still remember my when I was born, my dad told me this when I was born. He I think the doctor came run I forget exactly how it happened, but my dad told me the doctor came running after I was born, and he was like really excited. He was like really pumped up. He was like, "Oh man, I did it. I won the pool." Because apparently they had like a apparently like he delivered like because like when I was born I was like 11 pounds.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was I was a very big boy.
Yes.
And apparently they had a pool going of who would deliver the biggest baby. And so I won it for him.
That's really funny because my oldest daughter, when I was pregnant with her, if I went to term, I was supposed to have 11 to 12-pound baby.
Mm,
Thank goodness I didn't. Granted, she did have some developmental delays, but she's doing great, and she strives every day, and she actually is my hero. She gets up every day and faces it, then everybody else should be able to too. And I just try
mm,
to think of things in her eyes, which is really kind of cool. I loved being mom. And now I'm just really happy to be a grandma too. So I'm really excited for these little adventures.
mm. I like that.
So have you
I like that.
what do you think of this heat?
Uh,
It's
I
here.
mean, yeah, it's I don't know. It's I think it's just gonna have to. I mean, I haven't really gone outside mostly because like if I go outside for 2 minutes, I'm probably gonna. It's the same. Just imagine Dracula stepping out into the sunlight, and it'll probably be about the same. You would just see a roughly 5'9" figure just kind of spontaneously burst into flame.
Oh goodness. I know I don't go out very much, especially with this heat. I had to go out to go
Uh,
to a doctor's appointment, but um this week well, the last couple weeks I've been out more than I've been in like months. And it's like
mm,
it runs you down because you're not used to it.
yeah,
And where I've been stuck at home because right now we only have one vehicle because one of them is working. It's just I don't have it tagged yet. And once I get it tagged, then we'll be good. But right now I basically have to take my husband to work if he has to work if I have a doctor's appointment. So I have to wake up with him and he wakes up at like 5. So I wake up at like 4:30 because I it takes me a little bit of time to actually wake up to before I can even start doing anything. He can just get up and just go. Me, I can't. So I have to have that 30 minutes of just sitting there, waking up, or I'm not doing anything. But being out in the heat, it was hot even in the morning time. That was really surprising to me of how hot it was during the morning. Um, but like I said, taking him to work and stuff, it, it I didn't expect it to be as warm as it was. I was gonna grab a jacket thinking it was gonna be cool. And then I walked outside the house and it was like, nope, I don't need this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, like I usually go up. Like in the first week of August, like my family and I usually go upstate. There's a resort called Sunny Hill. We've been going there for about like 20 years at this point.
Oh wow.
And I mean, I mean, it does get hot up there. Like, like there's a lot to do like outside. So like there's a lot, so it does get hot. But it is like it's interesting because like it's all like it's upstate, so it's in the mountains.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
also it's hot, but it's also relatively cool.
Right.
Because they it's kind of up by the mountains. Like they have a lake there, which is usually pretty. It's usually pretty cool down there because it's by the water. And
Right.
like I'm not like I know there's some kind of scientific reason. I know that there is. I just can't remember what it is.
I know it is kind of cooler around water.
Yeah, yeah.
I know
I don't know.
my stepson, he actually just came back from Florida. They just watching the new baby and the waves and stuff. It was really cute. Um, but yeah, they went up there for the summer and came back. They actually went to, I forget, I don't think it was Daytona. I think it was Tampa that they went to,
Hmm.
but they had fun. I know me and Tim were thinking about driving all the way to Washington from Kentucky, so I can go see my other girls.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, like the more I think, like it is like very like it's really it's very interesting what happened like when you just kind of on vacation with your family. I like it's really amazing what it kind of does for how it kind of helps your mental health
Oh yeah,
almost. Like it's really because really I mean like it's your family, you know them, you've lived with them, but it's interesting because like I think it's interesting because you're kind of doing like when you're on vacation, you're doing something activities that you normally wouldn't.
right.
So
You're
and
put in
even though
positions.
so it kind of brings out different sides of yourself that like like it's your family, they're the closest people to you in the world, but it almost kind of
Right,
brings out different sides that because everyone kind of has those I like to I think Billy Joel kind of said it pretty well in he had a song called The Stranger, and he was kind of talking about like like the faces, like those different faces that you wear, like the faces that you kind of
right.
present to the world and the one that really only you see behind closed doors. And
Hmm.
it's interesting because like when you're on vacation with your family and you do these different activities that you normally wouldn't, you're kind of seeing those different sides of each other, and you're kind of bonding in different ways than
Yep.
you're bonding like in like this, like I think last year, or I think this past year, I went golfing with like I'm not normally a golfer. I'm, I'm not a golfer. I'm the farthest thing from it you can imagine. But I went golfing with my dad and my two brothers. And and I mean, it wasn't like competitive. We were just kind of doing it just to have fun, just to spend time together. And
Hmm.
and it's interesting because like because like your family kind of like they were kind of I'm because like I can I'm not like much of a sports guy, I'm not much of a golfer, and it's like when they were just kind of helping me kind of help with those tips on the best club to use, on how hard or how soft you should hit the ball, like if you were either going for a drive or a putter.
Hmm.
Like it's interesting because like you can kind of see them and you kind of learn from them, and like they kind of like you kind of like you bounce off each other in unique ways, and it's like really a bonding experience.
Yes, I agree. And then you're putting in positions that you're not normally in. And I
Yeah.
think that right there, it it's really good for your mind and body, just to get into something that you're not used to and try something new, because I love to learn. I think learning is growth and leadership, and I think that the person that is aspiring to get that knowledge or uh sh- that certain adventure that you're wanting to do, that new thing, it really gets you going.
Mm.
Which I'm trying to get myself through because I did have a little mental issue like this last couple months and everything. So I'm trying to get myself back. I've been going to therapy. So it's really kind of crazy that you were saying about mental health and where I've been in that situation and I'm trying to work myself out. Um I had to change doctors, so things are whacked around. So I'm kind of like going in between different medications now. I'm trying different other things like the vitamins that I take and everything. I'm trying to even do it the holistic way of trying to get my mental health back. Um, I have a saying, I don't care how I get there as long as I get there. Um,
Yeah.
and I hope everybody can get there. If anybody's, have any mental health, please, it's don't be embarrassed. It's something that happens to all of
Oh
us.
yeah.
Some more than the others, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just you need to get help in any way you
Yeah.
feel, is better. But I'm glad you kind of brought that up. So thank you.
Yeah. Of
But you are right
course.
about that bonding experience with the family member, knowing that they even give you that sort of love for that game, and you can kind of see it in them when they're actually teaching you those tips and tricks and stuff, and you're seeing their eyes like light up because they love that sport, and that kind of gets rubbed off on you too. So that's another thing.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, also especially just because because like there are so many popular songs that were written about like the song that song "Everybody Hurts" by REM.
Yeah,
Like the whole the whole idea about the song is it's everyone kind of goes through it. Everybody hurts, everybody cries
yep,
sometimes. And and really, I think it's just kind of like that a very potent reminder that it's something that like it's not because I think it gets easy to kind of feel like you're like it's only you, like it's easy to feel
right.
like you're the only one kind of going through it, but like it's I think I like the song I think is I mean the song this I think it's a very I mean it's because it's a very important message. It's like the idea that it's not just you, it's everybody, everyone hurts,
Right.
everyone has those, everyone cries, and it's okay
Yep.
to do it, it's okay, it's
You have your moments. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I think because I mean also because I mean music has also been kind of like music is just so like that was always that's always something that's kind of helped me a lot is because like a lot of like my dad and I because I play the guitar, like I've
Right.
been playing the guitar for if my math is correct, I've been playing the guitar for about let me see, it says yeah, if my math is correct, I think I've been playing for like almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been playing the guitar for because I started when I was in high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, I started playing the guitar because there was a class that I took. It was a beginner guitar class, and my dad had also been taking a course at Nassau Community College. He was taking a
Mm-hmm.
similar course, and he I was like, as I was kind of taking it, I started to I really liked it. I started to really enjoy it. That's actually kind of how I got my first guitar.
Oh,
Like
wow.
my first guitar I got, it was an acoustic. So I got that, and it was I started getting a lot of books about, it's like some of my favorite artists. I have like a book on of Eric Clapton, like his unplugged
Uh-huh.
show that he did on MTV in the 90s.
Okay.
uh I have like the Eagles greatest hits. I've
They're
learned
good.
a lot of songs from Tom Petty because he was always one of my favorite artists.
Oh, yeah.
I have a book on Paul for Paul Simon, some of his works. And after the class I started to, because I really enjoyed the guitar, I really enjoyed playing it. So after the class
Right.
ended, I wanted to continue, and my dad called. So I've been getting lessons ever since, and the guy who's been teaching me was actually the same guy who taught my dad.
Oh, wow.
Like he is so,
Well, that's
and
good.
a lot of the songs that I've been learning are a lot of the songs that we've always liked, because my dad and I have very similar tastes in music.
Okay.
We went to go see, like we saw The Cure at MSG. I think that was that was a birthday gift for him a couple years ago. We saw
Okay.
The Cure at MSG. We saw James Taylor. That was about 2 years ago. That was a birthday gift for me. We saw it 2 days before my birthday. We saw James Taylor at the Jones Beach Amphitheater. We
Okay.
saw John Fogerty upstate at, I think actually it was the same place where Woodstock was in '69.
Oh,
I think it was actually
wow.
that same area. It was in Bethel, New York, I think. So it was upstate.
Okay.
We saw him, and like I think we're gonna go see. I think this summer we're gonna go see Billy Idol. I think also,
Heck yeah.
we've kind of shared a lot of those. So and like that's always been kind of a big kind of bonding experience for me and my dad.
Oh, yes. Especially the love of music. Music is deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been, because really, because like honestly, really, he was the one who kind of got me into it, because he started
Right.
taking that core, the course he was taking. He started taking that before I actually took mine, the course at school. So like really, in a lot of ways, he was kind of the one who kind of got me into the guitar, and who kind of got me playing it.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Because like I said, that you find your passion and stuff and your joy and it makes you happy. It gives you
Mm,
that endorphins or the dopamine that you need to, get going. And that's
yeah,
good. That's really awesome to have. I'm trying to figure out what my thing is, but I've been so busy because of school. I'm halfway through though, but I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree in 2 years instead of four. So it's been like a nonstop college thing, and it's kind of hard to, have to do two classes and have 5 weeks, and that's it of the class,
yeah.
and then you're on to the next. It's a lot.
Yeah. I no, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Like, no, yeah. I remember, I think it's like also like when I was in college, it was, I mean, like it was different because, do you go in person like for class, or do you do them online, or?
I do it online.
Hmm. Oh, is it like an online? Because like I know there are like a lot of like specialty online universities.
Yeah, this
Is it
isn't
like,
yeah, it's an online, it's called American Intercontinental University.
okay,
And I'm getting my bachelor's in business administration and
yeah,
minoring in marketing.
Yeah. No, no, like cause I always see those advertisements for uh oh, what was it? North Northern Northern New Hampshire.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
those
there's like,
Northern New Hampshire University commercials I always see. Yeah,
yep,
I'm in because I mean, university was like was interesting for me. It was interesting because when I went and I started university in 2018.
okay.
So a majority, it's like my sophomore year, I think. Wait, it was. I don't think it was my first semester, or was it? I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I can't remember anymore. It's only been a few years, but so many different things have happened in the span of just a few years. It's insane. But
Right.
like I'm pretty sure it was like my springs. Yeah, my spring semester was smack dab at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh no.
So it was like smacked. So I had about like a year and a half of like kind of going into school, and it was interesting, like because I like in it's kind of you kind of go to school, you do your work, you do you kind of socialize with the people you meet,
Hmm.
and I think it was and then my second my fall semester, and when I was a sophomore, my second year, and it was the conf I was kind of the same thing. I was kind of taking a different other classes, trying to get the credits that I would need for my major and just to graduate. And then my spring semester was different because it started out okay. It kind of started out the same way. Then a couple weeks in, I think more towards March was like when we normally had spring break. That's like when you kind of start. That's when I think a lot of reported cases of COVID were coming in. That's when a lot of people. That's when a lot of the cases were coming in. That's when a lot of the news was starting to break about it. That's when a lot of
Yeah.
the masks and stuff were starting to be sold. And
Yeah.
because I heard people talking about it on campus a lot about the like about like wearing masks, and but I never really because like at that time I hadn't heard. I'd heard of it, but it wasn't like I heard so much of it.
Right.
So so I wasn't really sure what to think. I wasn't really sure what to think. Like the way I saw it was like I was like there's still a lot of things that you don't know. There are still so many
Right.
things that are still unknown about it. So
Yeah.
I feel like so like I was like at first we I need will you know I think like only time will kind of tell what this is, and then I
Right.
think we can kind of that was like kind of the way I saw it. And then when it kind of got time to spring break, I think those last or I think it wasn't spring break or another time. I'm pretty sure it was then. There was those 3 days, I think. The last three, like Wednesday to Friday, the school made an
Mhm.
announcement, and they said, we're going to go remote. These last few, no, these next few days, we're going to go remote, just because of concerns about this new virus that's being reported. So we're going to go remote, and then we're going to make we're gonna make a decision at the end of that. And I mean, honestly, because I started to hear a lot more, like more and more and more about it, about the virus.
Hmm.
I mean, eventually, they did go fully remote. That's when everything went. That's because I think after that week, that's when they announced that they were going to shut down. That's like when everything shut
Yeah.
down. So it was a very and like everything I had actually like kind of figured about, kind of going to university, gone.
Went out the
So,
window. Yep.
yeah, it went out completely out the window. Uh Kind of getting used to Zoom and doing classes remotely and having to have phone calls with you, like with your professors, that which was like it was odd for me, I a little bit, because
Right.
because like normally, normally your teacher, your professor, right, they're someone that you see in person. You go to their office
Right.
or you send them an email, right? That's normally, and now you're kind of like just calling them on the phone, and
Right.
now you're kind of
That
like
would
calling
be
them on the
weird.
phone, like like it's a lot of like different dynamics that you kind of have to get, that like it takes like getting used to. And then,
Yeah.
I like eventually my when I was a senior, my last few years, I think like when I was a senior, that's when a lot of the restrictions had started to be lifted. Like they started to
Okay.
be lifted a little bit in when I was a junior. They started lifting slightly, like you could go back on campus,
Right.
I think. But like you still had to, had to wear a mask. You still had to, uh where if you were in a
Social
building,
distance.
you still had to wear a mask. And then my senior year, I think a lot of those restrictions started to get loosened. Like you still had to wear a
Yeah.
mask. You still had to wear a mask, but a lot of you could still go back on campus now. You could, like, there was a lot
Right.
more of what you could actually do on campus, which was nice, because that was so like you kind of got a little bit, so like I was kind of able to actually have actually go back on campus, actually see
Normal
people, which
college.
was, yeah,
Right.
like a normal college experience. It's just like oh man, like you see, I mean, no, no, I mean, forget like the whole like Revenge of the Nerds thing. That's the movie that the college movie that studio should make. That's the college movie they should make.
Oh, wow. I'm telling you. Oh,
Oh,
but I understand that because I don't have that interaction. I do. There are times, like one time, like my instructor called me and it was out of the blue and it kind of threw me off. It was like, what?
yeah, it's
And,
like,
and, and it was because where I was running behind and she's like, just go ahead and turn it in. And I'm like, okay. So, but it is odd. It's very odd to, know that your teacher's calling you. Like you don't expect that. That's something
yeah,
you
it's
just
yeah,
you go to their office or you email them. And so,
mm,
but we do have our Zoom meetings and stuff for lectures, and then they do recorded lectures, and then we have to do like individual projects and then discussion boards. So, and then there are
mm,
also like the lesson books on some of the classes. Now it's just been
uh,
more of independent projects and discussion boards. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I've been
uh,
going on, which right now I have accounting and financial. Yay.
Oh man. No, no, yeah. I mean, I think the worst week, like my last semester there, my last semester at university, the worst week that I had was because like my last semester, I was like kind of pretty much always in person. All my classes were on
Right.
campus, which was nice. The worst week was I had to go remote because it was very mild, but I had like a very mild case of COVID.
Oh, that sucks.
Like
Oh,
I mean, like it was very very mild. It was like a cough and a runny nose,
right. That's
and
good.
that really kind of cleared up by the end of the week. But
Well, that's good.
because I was starting to kind of get back to kind of getting used to actually kind of going back on campus, and like I mean, like yeah, you still had the mask, and but you kind of got
Right.
used to it because that was probably the closest thing to the my first year and a half there. That was like the closest thing I'd had in like 2 years and like almost two
Right.
years. And like uh so kind of having to go remote again was like, oh man. It's like, oh, you gotta be kidding
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that would
Uh
be rough.
I mean, the Monday was annoying. I was actually kind of disappointed because it was Halloween and there was this Halloween event I was going to go to, and I had everything I needed to go as Luigi, like from Super
Oh,
Mario. I had the because I went as Mario one year, so I think I had the hat. I had like the hat. I had the gloves, a green shirt, and the overalls. So I
right.
had everything I needed to go as Luigi, and I'd been working on like the kind of over the over exaggerated Italian accent. Like it's a me, a Luigi. I am a Luigi. I'd been working on that, and it was and I never I never got a chance to do it because I got COVID.
Oh, wow. That's one of those
Uh,
missing things that you were really looking forward to, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden,
I what.
oh wow,
Oh,
that's rough.
but yeah, all right. But I think unfortunately, I think that's about all the time we
Okay.
have for today.
All right.
But but Cassie, thank you very much for joining me today, and for everyone who is listening to this, I hope you had a good time. Hope you had some laughs, had some insights, and we'll see you back here next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. You guys have a great day.
Take care, guys.